All right, ladies and gents, time for another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Report, starring your favorite man, Emerson Hip, your second favorite man, Gage Samoji, and today we have a very, very special guest. Emerson, would you like to say who it is?
We have Miss Devin Wallace, friend of former guest Matthew Finch.
You call them friends?
Yeah, friends.
Friends, lovers, you know.
Yeah, what's the relation, Devin?
Matthew Finch is my boyfriend.
Aww.
That sounds so dumb.
The boyfriend.
How long have you guys been knocking boots for?
Like 2 years. 2 years as of Christmas. So.
Wooga, I like it. So I think we should do a little backstory on why Devin is here.
Sure, yeah. Go for it.
So like last week, you and Ashley were talking on Twitter about how we gotta have the girls episode, which I still would like to do very much.
Couldn't have Ashley here today, but
you know, it's hard for her. She lives in Santa Rosa. It's a Tuesday. I get it. Traffic, all that bullshit. So I asked Devin, hey, Devin, do you want to come on the show? We'd love to have you. So we're looking for a guest.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be kind of thin today on...
I feel like she lightweight called us out on Twitter, too.
She kind of did lightweight call us out. So I thought it was perfect. I'm really happy you're here, and I really hope you have a good time.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so...
Should be fun.
What's on tap, Emerson?
We got, just a quick little sports news to get through. We got the Masters to talk about. We got some interesting rumors around the trade world in NBA.
Ooh.
And then, of course, NFL Week 10. It was a shit show this week. Actually, some good games, but we'll get to that. And then we're going to talk some more interesting stuff with Miss Wallace later today.
All the random sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was one of the things. You know, we wanted you to bring things to the table like we don't usually talk about, which you're going to bring that. I'm probably going to learn some new things today, which I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
cool.
I can't wait.
First, we need to get to know about you.
Sure.
Yeah. So, first of all, what are we all drinking today? Gage, you start.
I'm drinking a classic Lagunitas IPA. Shout out to Ashley Sills.
For the freebies?
Repping the brand.
Yeah, show the camera.
Yeah, I will.
Devin, you got something special here today. What are you drinking?
Explain.
I'm drinking Grocery Outlet Basic Hard Seltzer
Nice.
with either grapefruit
It's
or
called
lemon.
basic. It's not just a
It's
basic.
basic. It's called Basic.
Yeah, this isn't your ex-girlfriends that we're talking about. This is a drink. How's it taste?
Yeah.
Which one were you
Let's
drinking?
get a
Which one
review.
are you gonna drink?
I drink the grapefruit one, and it's a little sweet, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw the low sugar content. I was like, that's kind of interesting, but
Yeah, I know. So I'm like curious how it's so sweet, but it's
interesting.
good. It's
And
pretty
All
good.
right.
From what I know of you, you like to try different seltzers to see which one you like the best, right?
I do.
Which one's your favorite? If you had to pick.
Well, a few months ago, there's this brand called Mighty Swell,
Okay.
but the difference is it's hard seltzer, but it has fruit juice in it. So it's
Okay.
not technically a hard seltzer,
Gotcha.
but they're really good. But they only sell them like mainstream sell them in Texas.
Wow.
So every time we go to Grocery Outlet, we try to see if they're there.
Oh, because they get that.
Because grocery
Yeah,
outlet
it's
gets
like the
all
random stuff.
we get all like the bootleg shit. It seems
Yeah.
like grocery outlet.
Yeah,
you know?
but I mean, in terms of regular seltzers, Bud Light's probably the best seltzer.
Really? Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't tried any of the beer
The beer
branded
brands.
ones. Maybe Bud
I
Light.
tried the Coors Light one.
Gross.
Maybe
the
the
Coors
Bud Light
Light
ones, I
ones, they
can't
don't
remember.
taste like anything. The Corona seltzers
Yeah.
don't taste like anything.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Kona brand seltzers. That we
Oh,
had-
Those
yes.
are good.
I actually have had that one.
we had
Those
those,
are
we had those
good.
in Tahoe.
I've maybe tried the Bud Light one, but I don't think
The
I've.
Kona
No,
ones
the
are really
Kona
good.
ones are really
They
good.
have some interesting
The,
flavors too.
the flavors are so prominent.
Yeah.
It's like we
Like
don't really
Starfruit?
we don't see in regular seltzers for some
Yeah.
reason.
No,
So
yeah.
for my money, that's the best one out right now that I've ever had.
They're good like flavor wise though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am drinking over here Jefferson's Reserve bourbon. It's actually pretty damn good.
Just
Got it.
straight.
Got it for you around the rock.
On the rock.
Got it for a nice deal over at Lawler's.
There we go.
Go hit them up. Don't forget about them. They always got deals going on there.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you think of liquor stores, you think expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bevmo always has that. What's that sale? that
Well,
Bevmo
Bevmo is a big ass ripoff. Trust me.
Really?
They have the 5-cent wine sale, which
Yeah.
is a scam because they only give away shitty wine at Bevmo.
Mm-hmm.
But they have their club member thing, right? And it just knocks down their prices from really really overpriced to slightly overpriced. So
Okay.
that's why I've given up on Bevmo.
Yeah.
They do have a good selection. I'll give them that. But
There's just never anybody in there. Do you notice that?
yes,
Never.
because I think people probably have realized that.
Yeah.
They used to have the hottest chick that
Oh.
worked at Bevmo. I don't
Her name starts with an A,
I don't
and
remember
we're not
what her
going to
name
mention her,
was.
but yeah, she was beautiful.
Yeah, it's for another time. She was just smoking hot.
All right, let's get
Anyways.
let's get to know Devin.
Oh, God.
So we like to, when we have our guests on, we like to get a feel for their sports background. So, what sports did you play growing up? I know you played some.
Gosh, well, I started my life with gymnastics.
Okay.
Okay.
And I did gymnastics until I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
I had to make a decision. I either had to get like really serious about gymnastics or just quit because the gymnastics gym in Napa like flooded like really long time ago. When we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to go to Petaluma. So 3 days a week for 3 hours a day we went to gymnastics, and it just got too much.
Yeah.
So I quit. And then I took the advantage of taking every sport playing every sport my parents asked me if I wanted to play. So I played soccer, I played basketball, I tried volleyball, I was really bad at volleyball. I did dance, swim, track. I tried tennis for a week and it was really bad.
Rough.
But I mean, I did every sport basically available to me at the time,
Yeah.
and it was really fun.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like you tried everything out, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stuck with basketball and soccer the most.
The longest? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I messed up my ankles, so I didn't play sports in high school.
Yeah.
And here we are.
That
How's
can be,
how's your jump shot? Is it nice?
It's better than some.
Is it
I
better
won't
than-
say
better
their
than
names
Matt's?
Is it
specifically.
better than Finch's?
I won't say their names specifically on the podcast. But I'm
So-
better
I'm
than
gonna guess it's better than
I'm gonna
Matt's.
guess it's better than Finch's, yeah.
What's our next question? So, what's your favorite professional sports? Because I know you got like some interesting sports, but
I really like soccer. I hate men's soccer. Men's soccer is so dramatic. It's just really hard to watch, because they're really talented people, but they're just so.
they played in a very
The
weird
flopping
way.
is just
Yeah.
too much for me. So I really like women's soccer.
I'll give you that.
I really enjoy Formula One. I get up
Nice.
early on not every, but every other basically Sunday morning to
Nice.
watch it. And then I watch a lot of football with Matthew, so I guess I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching that, and that's pretty much it.
Nice. And your favorite teams or athletes in their respective sports?
So for soccer, I really enjoy the Portland Thorns, and that is because my favorite athlete of all time, Tobin Heath, is on that team.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But she's actually not on that team anymore. She
Yeah,
just got signed
I
to a
saw
different
that.
team, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And actually she's playing in the UK right now. So, I don't know if I'll stick with the Thorns because actually a few of my favorite players on that team just left
Really?
as well. And yeah, I'm more in soccer. I'm more about following the athlete than the team.
Okay, cool.
But we'll see. We'll see how the next season of NWSL turns out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it just got started about a month ago.
No, so they were one of the first
Or were they on
sports
hold?
to come back for COVID.
Oh, okay.
They had their whole tournament was said and done. Like the second game the NBA played,
Okay.
NWSL was already done with their whole tournament.
Oh, gotcha.
A lot of players opted out, and then they started playing just regular games again, and they kind of just stopped the season. I think it's on a break right now
Oh, okay.
because I don't think they really know what's kind of going on right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Gage. We're gonna whip through some sports news.
Yes. As we always do.
Get to know everything about Devin here. What happened over in the Masters?
The Masters. Dustin Johnson wins it. Minus 20 in the tournament.
Dominated.
It's ridiculous.
Well, he did dominate, but at the same time, a lot of guys were putting up some pretty good scores.
But it was the lowest in Masters history. That's
Pretty crazy.
So he dominated.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The greens were quite soft though. A
Yes,
lot of guys
from-
were able to just
from
hit
what I
it
saw,
right
yeah.
at the pin, which
And that has to be from a difference from them playing this last weekend to them playing in April.
correct.
Has
Yeah.
to be the way the weather.
Weather.
The way the greens are
Absolutely.
for sure. So
Course was
Well, that was
quite
the whole
wet.
thing, right? Is Georgia weather in the fall is very different than
Yep,
the spring.
no question.
and I think another thing we want to mention is our boy Danny Del Zampo had a bold prediction, which I'll give him credit for.
Yeah,
He sent it to our Instagram account.
which was beautiful. That's exactly what we want.
That's exactly what we
Listen.
Please.
Do
Exactly.
if you saw what Danny did, do that exact same
Every-
thing. If you want to
every-
send us a bold
Please,
prediction,
we love that. My boy pounded a shot of whiskey or whatever. I assume it's whiskey or
whatever
bourbon
it
with
was.
him.
Yeah,
And then not only that, he doubled down and chugged a beer as good as he could.
he gagged on it a little bit,
Yeah.
but he pounded it.
He pounded it. It was great. It wasn't pretty, but it was great. And Danny, we really appreciate it. But unfortunately, you're gonna have to pay.
I I
Or
think
did-
I'll give him a pass because of the beer chug. I think
Yeah.
that was good enough for
But
our
if everybody
entertainment.
starts chugging beers, are you just gonna pass on them too?
Well, I mean, he went the extra mile.
He-
but
he
was-
he
that's
doubled
all he asked
down.
for is a shot.
He
All
doubled
asked for
down,
is
which is a little
That's
different.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But his bold prediction, I think we should say, if you don't already know, is that he said Tiger was going to go back to back, and Tiger most definitely did not go back to back.
Yeah. I think in the last round he might have put a 10 on the board.
Did he? He was looking good at the beginning.
Really?
He was looking good at the beginning. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But-
He had a good first round and just kind of didn't do anything after that. But
So Danny, thank you very much. We
yeah.
appreciate it.
making a great example.
And also, we don't talk about golf very much on this show. So
That's the first time ever.
You know that for a fact.
First time we've gone that far into talking about golf.
Should we also
Hey,
mention?
you golfed for Instagram.
Yes,
right?
True.
Should we also
True.
mention that? Should we also mention how I had to take 5 shots in about a 10-minute span?
When we golf.
Yeah, because Emerson smoked my ass at Wii Golf. And do you want to explain it? Because it wasn't pretty for me.
Basically, we played 9 holes of Wii Golf, and we decided that the loser of each hole would have to take a shot.
I saw that.
And I peppered Gage in the first 5 holes. I think I won 4 out of 4 of the 5, and I was like, all right, I'll let you off the hook.
Did
We're
it make
done.
you better though?
No, I mean, I was just bad. I couldn't do anything. I don't know what it was. It was
I
weird.
I don't feel like you were that bad. I mean, I was playing pretty well. I had some birdies, but
Yeah. He also hit hole in one later.
I did hit a hole in one off the camera.
After I gave him the white flags, I was like, bro, I can't. I'm gonna take like 8 shots in 10 minutes. I just can't do that.
Why not? Come on, the viewers want to see it.
Oh, man.
Maybe tonight.
But you know what? I had the last lap because Emerson felt way worse in the morning than I did.
I did.
I don't know how. 'Cause I think I drank more than you.
I don't know if you did. I was drinking before you did.
Okay, I'll give you that. You did. You were drinking more before I got there. Or before I got here.
I'm not going to embarrass myself and tell you guys how much I drank, but
He was also,
but I did drink a lot.
he was also smoking some
I
cigars.
did have a cigar,
You know, that's-
ate a
that's-
gummy, yeah,
Dang.
it's all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, I won't be doing that tonight.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're gonna be playing that at all tonight.
No, I won't be. Yeah. Anyways,
Jaeger. I was shooting Jaeger, and it's not that bad, man.
it's
fucking-
pretty. It's
pretty
sweet enough to you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's sweet though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I woke up and I was hungover. But from what I heard from Garrett, Emerson was a sack of shit. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah. No,
and he had to go to work, which I felt bad about.
Yeah. I was still slipping at work.
Yeah, so enough about Emerson and his hangovers, and over to the NBA with all this trade.
A lot
talk
of
that's
trade
going on.
rumor bullshit going on.
Emerson's boy CP3 is going to the Suns.
Whoa.
Going to Phoenix.
That's a
Devin
big one.
Booker.
That's a big one.
It is a big one.
Yeah. You got a nice little trio with him and Booker and DeAndre Ayton.
And that's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I can already see the pick and roll 8 and CP3. It's gonna be
Mhm.
nice. Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre and protected first round pick go to OKC. And OKC
That's pretty good.
OKC just racking up.
They're
first
just
round
stocking up on
picks.
young
Stocking
players
up big time on
and first round
right
picks. Like the only thing about that is though, all these first round picks they're getting are like late first round picks, which are not that valuable. But
now. Yeah, it looks better on paper.
yeah,
But they still.
hey, if one of them hits, that's great.
Hey.
That's all you can ask for. I
That's
guess.
all you need.
Another trade that the Thunder were involved in: Dennis Schroeder going to the Lakers for Danny Green and the 28th pick this year. So that's a confirmed selection for the Thunder. So
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder's a nice little
I
player.
think that's gonna be good for the Lakers. I
Yeah,
think
no, he averaged like 19 off the bench for the
I
Thunder
think
this
that's
past year.
something the Lakers are gonna need.
Yeah, and kind of solidifies that point guard spot.
I
So
guarantee.
why is the Thunder taking away all these good players then? I mean, Chris Paul's good, right?
He's just kind of old.
Yeah, I think
He's older.
they're-
I honestly think that's.
he's 35, so they're probably like he's not going to be here when we actually get to a point where maybe we
Yeah.
contend. So there's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they're looking toward like 5 years from
They're
now.
playing long
yeah.
game.
I mean they had actually a really awesome season that no one expected this past
Yeah.
year, but
No, yeah, they were
yeah,
playing great.
Yep.
Other news: my boy Bogdanovich is going to the Bucks.
you like him, huh?
He,
I thought he was a good
he
player.
can shoot.
He can shoot.
kind of reminded me of like he's not Klay Thompson, but he.
He's like a Bellinelli,
All right, yeah.
who's a pretty good player.
Bogdanovich, he was a shooter, man.
Yeah, he can shoot.
And I mean, I've pretty much lost all hope in the Sacramento Kings. So. But you gotta claim them though, because that 1 year when they're good and they win it, I'm like, you know what? I was here from day one.
Yeah,
which is-
I will shower
Have they
you.
ever been good though?
Hmm?
Have the Kings?
Early 2000s.
They should have
They could've.
won the
Could've,
finals
should've.
in like
Yeah.
2002. But the Lakers,
Dang.
Got the help from a ref.
this one referee was like betting on the Lakers, so he gave the Lakers every call in that fucking series.
Yeah.
Did you watch this game when you were in what,
No.
first grade?
No, I actually didn't.
No.
I didn't. I wish I would have. Actually, I wish I wouldn't have because I would have been sad.
What was that, like 2002 or
Yeah.
3?
'Cause I remember watching the
Yeah.
World Series when the Giants went, and I was sad after that when they lost to the Angels. So it was
Yeah.
probably better.
No. And a big one. Drew Holiday going to the Bucks
Uh-oh.
for Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and the 24th pick in the draft. New Orleans. I'm interesting to see what they're doing because they got 2 veteran guards that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they did get the first round pick, but Drew Holiday's a nice player for the Bucks. I think he's gonna help them out.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna get over that hump though? Are they finally gonna?
I don't know
over
that this
hump?
propels them that far, but he definitely helps. I think they need to make some other moves. I mean, obviously they got Bogdan
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
I don't know if those 2 guys make them that much better, but it's at least something to keep Giannis feeling good about their future.
Do you find it interesting that his name is Bogdan Bogdanovic?
Where's he from? I was listening to him.
He's like
Or he's like Serbian,
or
maybe?
something, yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like your first name
Is
is
basically
essentially
your
your
last
last name.
name. Yeah.
With the Ovich on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they do there, but whatever.
Apparently it is. For this guy.
Robert Covington is going to the Blazers for Trevor Ariza.
I
and
thought that was a weird trade
pick to Houston.
because Covington, I don't know. I mean, he's younger than Ariza, but
He's not better.
not much better at all, really.
To me,
So,
to me,
interesting.
Covington was just the product of what the Rockets did all the time.
Yeah,
Just shooting the 3 ball.
just and he like damn near played center for them he's a small forward. He's a wing player.
Yeah.
And he played center, but I mean he's gonna have a different role with the Blazers. But
Mhm.
I thought that was an interesting one. And then some other big news out of Houston. Both stars, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, want to be traded apparently.
You see, Harden could have took $50 million a year for
Yeah,
2 years and said
yeah.
no.
Yep.
He wants to get out of there bad.
Yep.
Can you imagine being so good at something that you're like $50 million a year? I'm good.
Yeah.
I actually don't want that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
But
That's crazy.
what does it say about him that he only wants to go to the Nets?
It's a weird situation.
There's already 2 like stars.
Oh, they're stars.
Yeah,
In
I mean-
Brooklyn for sure.
Yeah.
But Kevin Durant hasn't played for the Nets yet. But
Correct.
he is he's considered a star.
I would consider him their best player when he
Yeah.
comes back, even if they did trade for James
So
Harden.
what does it say about James Harden that he wants to go to a team where there's already 2 really good people and he might not even? I mean, I will credit ESPN to this opinion that I have, but he doesn't pass the ball.
Nah.
No, it doesn't.
So what is he just not going to pass the ball to really good NBA players?
I think there's no way that trio works.
no.
I mean, Kevin Durant has proven that he can play alongside of guys and not necessarily have to have the ball all the time.
Mhm.
But Kyrie Irving would not be good next to James Harden. There's no
but
way.
Kevin Durant wants the ball more than James Harden would be willing to give it to him.
Exactly.
To me, what it says about James Harden right now is that he has realized that, I would think he had realized, and I hope he realizes that I don't necessarily always need the ball for my team to win because he's been trying to do it for so many years and it hasn't worked for him.
Yeah.
And so I think he'd be okay with having Kyrie have the ball all the time and he can play like more like the wing. Like
That's the only way it would work.
it has to be.
Yeah.
He knows going into it. He's not stupid. There's no way.
I would
He
hope
knows going into it that he's not going to get the ball nearly as much or touch the ball nearly as much. But I think at this point he's like, I'm getting older. I'm still a top 5 to 8 player in the league, and I think he wants to win now. Like he
Yeah.
wants
Yeah,
to.
he
He
just
wants
wants
to
that
win.
ring.
He wants to win a championship.
Yeah.
He does, for
Yeah.
sure. I don't see that being the best fit. But
No.
hey, if he's willing to be, I mean, he would have to be at most the second best player on the team. But then where does Kyrie fit in? Because I don't think he would. I was watching The Herd today, and he was like, I've heard reports that Kevin Durant wants James Harden, but Kyrie doesn't. So
Well, yeah.
And I think I also heard that he might want to go to the Sixers too.
I did hear that initially too.
Which also wouldn't help because Ben Simmons always has the ball in his hands too.
It would have to be Ben Simmons would have to go to Houston in that situation.
James Harden has to. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's kind of going more for the wins and the rings
Yeah.
more than he's
Yeah,
trying to.
then-
Because
yeah.
if he goes to the Nets and they still have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they're going to be probably projected to go to the finals in the East. I would think.
I mean, I think it's easy just based on the star power, but given what they would have to give up to get him, their depth would be diminished
Yeah.
massively.
Yeah.
And I don't know I think nowadays and age, 2 stars is better than 3.
Yeah, just because you have 3 stars doesn't mean you're gonna win.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Warriors somehow made it work.
But
But
he made it work too.
he made it work too. But even like at the same time, Chris Bosh took a step back in
Well, I guess
production.
I guess you could say the Cavs made it work, but Kevin Love also took.
Similar
same
way
thing with
that
Kevin-
Chris
or Chris
Bosh
Bosh,
did.
yeah.
Yeah. And Klay Thompson kind of did too in a way.
Yeah.
He was
Or
definitely
Draymond
definitely
did,
the
or
third guy.
Draymond definitely took
Oh,
a step
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But he was not
No.
a star caliber.
Are we gonna bother talking about Westbrook in this? Or do we have to?
I mean, yeah, the reports have been saying that he's his most likely landing spot would be the Hornets, but who knows at this point.
That's just Michael Jordan want him because
He-
like
he
rocks
wants-
his shoes
Yeah.
and I don't know. Westbrook done.
Yeah.
He's done. He really is. I
Yeah.
don't. He's just not. He's not efficient.
No,
He's
he
not
shoots like 40% from the field.
He's not
That's
good.
not good.
Yikes.
I mean, he's athletic. He's this and he's that. He can dunk, but he can't shoot the ball anymore.
Yeah.
He's a shell of what he used to be.
He has a glaring, sore spot in his game, and
Yeah.
that's the ability to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So, and which is a very important part of the game nowadays. So.
Yeah. Another thing I want to mention real quick is that the NBA draft is tomorrow. Honestly, did not know that until about.
Warriors got the second pick.
Really? They've been talking about it every morning.
Yeah. Do you watch ESPN, bro?
Do you
I
even
don't
watch?
have TV in my house.
Then no,
Sure.
you didn't.
Do you have the ESPN app? I know you do.
But I can't watch. I don't have the. I
That
can't.
further, yeah.
I need like a cable provider.
Yeah, you
Like,
do.
No, but the ESPN app would kind of give you some. news.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You could get all the news.
No excuses. No excuses. my
No
bad.
excuses.
That's
Yeah,
all
I don't want to hear it.
I'm sure the Kings will blow whatever pick they have, so it's gonna be great.
Yep.
Can't wait.
I don't even know if they have a first rounder this year.
Yeah, they probably don't, which doesn't surprise me.
Sweet. Warriors are getting.
I was gonna ask you, who do you think they're gonna get? Who do you call right now? Who
Do
do
they
you
have
think?
first pick?
So they have the second pick.
Bold prediction. Who do you think, or who do you think they're gonna get?
So I think I'm gonna give you my top 3 because it's like kind of seems obvious who the top 3 players are.
Yeah.
I think the Wolves are gonna take Anthony Edwards. Warriors taking James Wiseman. Hornets taking LaMelo Ball.
Dang.
I think the Warriors are gonna get LaMelo.
I don't think so.
Nuh-uh.
I hope. they
I
do.
watched him interview on ESPN today. Don't take him, Warriors. Please don't.
Well, they definitely listen to you.
He had this bunch of fucking 4-word answers to all the questions.
He's a ball.
Hello, like that?
Believer.
Nice
Why
hands.
is everyone gonna throw beers at me today?
I mean, I was pretty willing to hand it to
I
you.
know. I'm sorry. Dude. It wasn't anything like I didn't want to give it to you.
Fucking Emerson, like always.
Try not to spread COVID, okay?
There you go.
All right, Gage. Let's move on to football.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Are you a
great.
Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
That's
yes.
really sad. Come on.
Oh my god.
That might be the best line on this show.
We're getting into this right now.
I'll be honest, when they said the Cowboys had a bye, I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh my! I thought the same thing. You know why? Because they can't lose. But the Cowboys would be that team to have a bye week and still somehow lose something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a rough year. It's
So,
been really rough.
so thank you Cowboys for having a bye week. So it saved me some heartache because I would have been sad again. But hey, what if I said past like 4 weeks? Tank for Trevor, baby.
Yeah.
Tank for Trevor Lawrence.
Too bad the Jets exist.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
my theory.
The Jets are going to get him, though.
No, they're not.
Do you see that meme of him with the really, like, sad face? And it's like, that when it hits him that he's going to go to the Jets.
I do want to mention that the Cowboys played Minnesota this Sunday, and that backstory real quick. I've grown up hating the Vikings since I was a little kid. Because my mom's ex-boyfriend, who still I'm really good friends with, is a Vikings fan. He was always been fucking obnoxious about the Vikings playing the Cowboys because the Vikings literally always beat him. Shout out to Jeremy. Love you to death, but he hasn't even talked shit to me because I think he knows.
It's just gonna be a
it's
rout.
gonna be bad.
Andy Dalton might be back this week.
It doesn't matter. Dalvin Cook is going to torch that Swiss cheese defense the Cowboys have.
It's not gonna be fun.
So let's get off this topic. Emerson,
Yeah.
talk about your shitty 49ers.
My Niners took the L this week against the Saints, 27-13.
Let's go.
Thank God the Niners got their bye week next week. I don't have to fucking live through this anymore.
But what do you think is the future of the 49ers? 'Cause
I
it's
think
really
the-
not looking good right now.
I think the future is just fine. They need to really think hard about the quarterback situation.
Sam Darnold.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's
I'd rather
the
see
future.
like Matt Stafford or Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan would be a good one.
Yeah, but I think they're just fine. They need to Think about getting a wide receiver for sure. Although I do like some of the pieces they have, and getting Nick Bosa back and healthy, and really the whole damn team getting back and healthy would be nice for a season.
But it's just not likely this season.
No, this year is.
So-
well, I'm looking forward to 2021. I got my 2021 goggles on.
Just like the Cowboys. I'm looking forward to the next year now.
Yeah, I'm not expecting anything this year. The NFC is pretty loaded this year, anyways. So.
Yeah, seriously.
More local news, I guess you could say, is that the Raiders pummeled the Broncos.
All right.
37-12. Your boy Drew Lock is busted. It's over.
Yeah, they're already at 6 losses, so I'm on my way to
A shot.
healthy punishment.
Yeah. Good game next Sunday night, or this Sunday night. Kansas City playing the Raiders.
Only team to beat the Chiefs so far.
Raiders did, huh?
Yeah,
Fuck,
only
I
team
forgot
to
about
do it.
that. I mean,
Gonna be playing at the Death Star.
dude, that stadium is bad. It's so nice.
It's so cool.
It's cool, right?
I just wish that the Raiders had. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but I wish the Raiders would have rebranded. Honestly, with
What do you
their
mean?
their logo is just very.
It's so classic though.
They
I think
can't-
if they
it's so
did,
classic.
they would lose
But it's
some of the fan base.
too classic. Like you just have this brand new stadium, and it looks like it's straight from the future, and then you just have that plain ass Raiders logo.
I'm
Well, I
like-
think it would be
on the
cool to
field.
keep that logo and then have maybe a
An
cool
alternate.
secondary logo.
Just
that,
modernize it, just a little
I'm
bit.
fine
like,
with
you
it,
can keep the
because-
pirate. It's just.
Because if the Cowboys were to change their star, I would probably stop being a fan.
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, there's certain teams that you gotta stick
those are
with.
probably the 2 biggest brands too.
Yeah.
I didn't Niners were up there. I mean, I know
Niners were up there,
Niners
too.
have kind of changed their logo very slightly.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
it's
what I'm
pretty much
saying.
the
That's
same
what the Raiders need to do.
Oh, okay,
Because
gotcha.
the Cowboys, it's just a star, and it's just so
You can't-
iconic. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. But the Raiders, I feel like you could just
Do like,
Tweak
like
it
just
a
tweak it
tad.
a little
ever
bit.
so slightly.
No, that's a good point.
Maybe even the font on the Raiders at minimum.
Yeah.
Moving on to some other scores around the league. Last Thursday night, Colts had a pretty impressive win against the Titans.
This was probably the best Thursday night game on paper so far.
One of the better ones for sure.
Because we all know Thursday night games are
Yeah, I'm
pretty
trying to-
much ass.
But we had a good one come this week though.
What's this?
Seahawks and Cardinals.
Yes.
Ooh.
Seahawks are in some dire straits with this one.
I'm glad they weren't in my top 6 last week. I'm really glad.
So now Tennessee and Indianapolis are tied for first place.
Yeah.
So that was a big game, yeah, for them.
I picked the Texans to win the division, so I'm way out of
Yeah,
it.
me too. We're not looking good on
What
that
are you
one.
gonna do? Game of the week, arguably
Yeah, it was. And play of the week.
Oh
play of
my
the week.
God.
Probably play of the year.
Play of the year.
Just in the last 5 seconds.
The
Yeah.
the Cardinals versus the Bills. Cardinals won 32-30 on a Kyler Murray Hail Mary to DeAndre Hopkins, which
Outrageous.
Kyler Murray rolling to his left, off back foot, front foot, 1 foot, and Hopkins just gets it. Like,
He's got 3 guys around him, and he's the tallest guy, and just goes up and
It's-
snatches
Did
it.
you hear what he said?
uh,
He was like, yeah, it's the equivalent of like dunking,
Yeah,
except I
I
did it
did
on
hear
like
that.
3 dudes.
I also want to mention something.
Okay.
I want to mention something quick about this. Is that there was this picture that came out after, like, of him catching it, and Hopkins is rocking the Jordan gloves. You can see the logo. The other 2 defenders are
Like
rocking
Adidas and Nike.
Adidas
right?
and Nike.
Yeah.
And a bunch of memes on Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
And one of the best ones is like, if this isn't a Jordan commercial, then I don't know what is. You know? Which it was just perfect.
So true.
Unbelievable play.
Hell of a game. One of the best games
Unbelievable
of the year. Best play of the year for sure.
Not to mention that the Bills in that game scored.
With like 35
Go
seconds.
ahead with 30 seconds left.
Yeah. Hell of a game.
Yeah.
Another big game. The Rams beat the Seahawks 23-16.
Seahawks.
Seahawks are struggling a little bit right now.
Seahawks are struggling.
That's created a little 3-way tie for first place in the NFC West between the Rams,
And,
Seahawks, and Cardinals.
Finch might be right when he's talking about the Cardinals.
The Cardinals are
win
good.
the division,
I'm
or go
still
to
not
playoffs.
like sold on them as like any kind of contender, but yeah, I mean they look like a playoff team.
So
right
who are you sold on in the NFC West right now? If you had to
now. None, honestly.
pick. Gun to your head, pick one.
Maybe the Rams, but the Cardinals are right there.
So the Seahawks, are you out?
Yeah.
Not loving them. Not loving the Seahawks right now.
They're so Russell Wilson dependent.
Yeah, and their defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
The Rams actually have a really damn good defense. The Cardinals are more offensive oriented as well.
Yeah.
But interesting division for sure.
Yeah. The Dolphins beat Finch's Los Angeles Chargers 29-21. Tua.
Yeah,
Ashley,
he's the man.
our girl Ashley, happy about Tua, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
She only needs 3 more wins to get that prize. We're gonna have to pay. for that
They
one.
have 6 wins right now?
They have 6 wins.
Woo.
6-3.
Yeah, we're gonna pay for that one
Yeah.
for sure.
There we go.
I hate when Ashley's right. Tua, I want to say real quick, 3-0. He hasn't played great, but he's played as good as he's had to.
He played really well against the Cardinals last week. But, yeah.
Yeah.
This game, another solid win. This next game we're going to mention.
I like what you put on this.
The Giants beat the Eagles 27-17.
You know,
This is the worst division
ever.
in history. I think the Giants might win it at 7-9 at best, maybe 6-10.
Dude, the Cowboys still got a chance to win this
They
shit.
do. They do.
It's ridiculous.
How did the Eagles lose to the fucking Giants?
Daniel Dimes. That's why.
Dude, he's like maybe the fastest quarterback in the league now too. He runs away from defenders.
Kyler, Lamar.
Yeah.
No, it's
Who?
Daniel Dimes, bitch. It's Daniel Dimes.
That's just a confusing situation right now.
I also love how Emerson has it all set up for us. He has the score of the game and then just question marks next to it, like kind of like a what happened type thing.
Pretty much.
It's pretty good.
I did not watch a second of this game. I saw a highlight of Daniel Jones
Just running.
That's about it. But like, what the fuck? Come on.
Our boy Jimmy, his Steelers stay undefeated, beating the Cleveland Browns 36-10.
No, I put Cleveland. That's actually Cincinnati. Whoops. Anyways,
I said Cleveland.
no, it's supposed to be Cincinnati.
Oh,
The Bengals.
good job, Emerson.
Yeah, I fucked that
Say
one up.
what?
I've been doing that all week, mixing those two teams up. But anyways, yeah, another
Beating
huge win.
Cincy.
Yep.
Thanks, Emerson. Fucking everything up.
Joe Burrow.
Steelers stay undefeated. They're
good.
looking good, man. They
Can't complain.
prove me wrong every week. I don't like it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yep. There must be a dog in the house. Oh yeah, buddy.
I wonder what the fuck that was.
I'm like, that's not my dog. is it?
Sunday Night Football. Patriots upset the Ravens in an absolute torrential downpour game.
It was so bad.
It was raining so hard.
And nobody was saying anything about it till the end. I'm
Yeah.
like watching it, like, how are we not acknowledging that the rain is this bad?
A
Yeah.
little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
I thought. I
Lamar-
knew it was dumping.
Yeah,
So-
Lamar kind of struggled, but the Ravens haven't really looked all that great these last few weeks. So
No.
I mean, not to mention they completely exposed themselves. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not good. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's not.
they're not looking great. They might figure something out. They need to make an adjustment, but I still believe the
I believe
Ravens
them too.
are
They'll be fine.
going to be an interesting team when playoff time comes around.
And the last game we're going to mention is last night's game. Minnesota beating Chicago.
Did you watch that game?
Terrible.
It was awful.
19-13.
Unwatchable.
It was Kirk Cousins' first win on Monday Night Football.
He didn't even deserve it.
No.
Trash.
Nick Foles went down late. Did you see that?
He did, yep.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
cracked.
like,
But they said things came back good as far as
Oh, that's good. I didn't see
now.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's going to be good to go.
So,
All right.
yeah, that's the NFL talk.
Let's move on to the beef of the show.
The beef.
The reason we're here. Sports talk with Mrs. Wallace.
Are you doing that? Are you doing that just because of Pulp Fiction?
Exactly.
Okay. yeah.
Exactly what I'm doing. I told Matt there would be no foot rubs on the show, so you don't have to worry.
Gross. Now
So
I am worried.
you think Marcellus threw Tony out of a 4-story building rubbing my feet?
Classic.
So I mean, how much do you guys know about? Let's start with Formula One.
Yeah,
How much do you
go for
guys know about Formula
Just
One?
shoot it from the hip if you want.
Yeah.
'Cause
So-
I don't know shit about Formula
I'll
One.
answer your question. I mean, I've paid like a quarter of an eye attention towards Formula One over my life, so
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
Lewis
the
Hamilton
gist.
and Michael
Yeah.
Schumacher.
Yeah.
I was named after Emerson Fittipaldi. I don't know if you know who that
Okay.
is.
Alright, cool, yeah.
Anyways,
Um,
but honestly, so we talked about this before the show about the Netflix special
Yeah.
on Formula One.
10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Really
They're
good
coming
show.
out with a new season.
Yeah, so I watched both of those seasons.
Super great.
Also, new roommate Dylan is a big Formula One fan.
Oh, he's so.
Is
We actually
he?
watched the whole race last night.
he
Yeah,
loves
really? It
Yeah.
was such a good race.
It was very interesting.
was-
A lot of rain.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Turkish Grand Prix. Who
Yeah.
knew?
Yeah, if you want to talk about Formula One, Dylan's
Yeah.
your boy. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
fucking-
Why isn't he in here?
Maybe one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We haven't had him on. He's been here for over a month now. Kind of surprising.
So I mean, your basic gist of Formula One is you have 2 drivers per team. There's 10 teams.
Okay.
Each team has a budget, and obviously there's teams like Mercedes and Red Bull and Ferrari who have huge budgets. And like I said earlier, Mercedes, they're driving a rocket ship this year. It's insanely fast. Red Bull, their car is not as good, but it's still good. Now Ferrari is struggling this year. Their car is dud. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Poor Sebastian Vettel, he's won 4 world titles, not with Red Bull. I mean, not with Ferrari, but he's tanking this year. He can't even.
He finally got him back on the podium
He
this
did,
past
he
weekend,
did.
right?
He got
For the
what?
first time in a while. Third, yeah.
Place, yeah. Sergio Perez got second.
Of a gift from Leclerc in that last
Who
turn.
is also a Ferrari driver. So it's just not looking good for Ferrari. It's really not. But then you have teams who have smaller budgets, which is like Racing Point. That's just like a basic breakdown.
Gotcha.
So right now, last weekend was the Turkish Grand Prix. They haven't been in Turkey for 9 years. This was their
really?
first. Yeah. So this was the first
I
time.
like that track too. It was pretty interesting.
It was very cool.
Right.
2020 has been a very interesting year in terms of
Everything.
Grand Prix because they canceled the U.S. Grand Prix. They canceled the Canadian Grand Prix. A lot of places canceled.
Yeah.
They pulled out last minute.
They
So
only raced they're gonna do 16 out of normal 20 something.
23 next
23,
year.
yeah.
So they kind of had to come up with these old tracks. Like they did Imola, which actually, like the street Imola.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a Formula One track. Here in
You just
Napa-
race right down it, right?
Yeah, just
It's a straight
hopefully
shot.
there's no red lights. No. So, and that is actually a track where, oh gosh, I don't remember his name, but a gentleman died there. A driver died there.
Oh,
but this was years ago.
Yeah.
So they've had to kind of come back to all these old tracks, which has been very cool. But in case of the Turkish Grand Prix, it was not great because they had just repaved.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for practices and qualifying, it was really hard because they couldn't heat up the tires. The cars were very unreliable, so qualifying was nuts.
And it was raining all weekend too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So qualifying was nuts. So Lewis Hamilton, huge winner, always starts P1.
No, I know he's like
He dominates.
he's the go.
Yeah.
He started P6. So he started 5 drivers back than him, and he won it.
Of course.
So now he has named him, or not named himself, but he has earned his 7th championship. So he ties with Michael Schumacher's for most wins.
Yeah.
Most championships, yeah.
Yeah, most championships now. He just beat Michael Schumacher in terms of most wins of individual Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That was
It was
2 ago.
not too long ago.
Yeah.
So he's making his
I'm kind of getting the idea that Lewis Hamilton's like the Wayne Gretzky. He's gonna be the Wayne Gretzky
Pretty
eventually of
much.
Formula One, just own
Yeah.
every
He's still
record.
only 35. He's gonna be 36 when next year starts.
Yeah.
And he'll probably
So
race for another 4 years at the
Probably,
least,
yeah.
right?
I mean, Michael Schumacher raced into his 40s.
yeah.
So
So the only thing right now is that he has not re-signed with Mercedes.
Yeah,
His
that's a
contract
big,
is up. But the only reason that he's not doing that, I read an article about it today, is because of his rights and things that he can say off the track.
oh, interesting.
So Lewis
He's
Hamilton
trying to
this year
hash
has
that out.
he's very much found his voice this year and is
Yeah.
very much standing up for like social equality, things like that.
Yeah, he made some comments after the race in his interview that I
So
found
that's the only real thing that he's
That's
ironing
cool.
out right now.
Very
yeah.
cool. And then you have something to say about another series that F1's partnering with.
So the W Series, it's all women. There's no women drivers in Formula One currently. So they started their own series. Their first year was 2019. They obviously have not been able to race this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Due to COVID. So now they've partnered with Formula One, which is really cool because now they have the rights to all the tracks that Formula
Oh,
One
nice.
races on.
So they were not affiliated beforehand.
No.
It's just a similar style of car.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now, you have on a Formula One weekend, not this past Formula One, but before, because they race less. You have Formula 2, and sometimes Formula 3 racing on the same tracks as you on the same weekend.
Yeah.
So now part of that is going to be the W Series. Only 8. It's only 8 Grand Prix. So out of the 23, the women will be there. I mean, not racing with them, but they're on the same weekend as them.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So they can get the same exposure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's very cool. It's very huge for women in racing. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't really hear about that
No.
at all.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean NASCAR gets one once every 10 years. It feels like.
And they probably don't do well. I mean,
No.
I don't follow NASCAR
Yeah,
at
they
all. But
don't get on a good team. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
So very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah. Now, let's move on to, or do you have anything else to say about racing?
No, I guess.
Let's go, let's talk about some women's soccer, since you're a big fan of that.
I'm a huge fan.
When I think of women's soccer, I probably think of you because I know you love it so much.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
that's a good point.
It's just really interesting because soccer is huge, around the world. But
Yeah.
did you know that the top most scoring human being on a list of men and women is a woman?
Really?
Yeah, she's from Canada. She just hit the record last year.
Wow.
Prior to that, it was Abby Wambach.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yes.
I think I heard about this actually.
And then last year, Christine Sinclair broke the record.
Nice.
And she's actually also on the Portland Thorns.
Is in most scoring in international play,
Yeah, ever.
or just
No.
in anything?
Ever. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Hell yeah.
The,
See, that's something that I don't hear about it. You know what I mean?
yeah, women are cool. So a big thing that just happened actually today was the national women's soccer team had a camp, I want to say 2 weekends ago, or 2 weeks ago in Denver, Colorado, and they have now scheduled a game, an actual game, an international friendly game in the Netherlands
Oh, cool.
against obviously the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
that's who they beat in the last
In the finals,
World
right?
Cup.
Yeah.
So
I
they're
remember
gonna
that
go back and they just named the roster for the camp that they're gonna go do in the Netherlands before the game. And 2 sisters are on it now. You have Sam Ewis and Christine Ewis are on it.
Nice.
Notably, Megan Rapinoe is not on that list.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she actually went to the Wubble, the WNBA bubble with
Oh,
her now fiance Sue Bird. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. That's
I
pretty
heard about
big.
that too.
Yeah, so she
2
was
stars.
with the WNBA, so she did not play this season at all, and actually it doesn't really seem like she has any intention of playing this
She
year.
just kind of wants to hang out for a little
Who
bit.
knows if this will be her exit?
She's getting a little bit
from the
older though,
sport?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's older. I mean,
Yeah.
She
she's
just won the championship though in WNBA. Sue Bird.
Super
Yeah.
did.
Mhm,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
did. So they now have The problem with the National Women's Soccer League is their COVID protocol is not great. It's
Is that right?
it's not.
Because I was a little curious about what we're going to get into here and why we've lost some players.
So they don't have the best protocol. It really looks like, and this has been a problem for years, is that they don't have the player's best interest. Which I feel like is true of a lot of sports because it's a business.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
the women feel fairly strongly about it. So you've had a lot of women who didn't play in the tournament at the beginning of COVID. You
Yeah.
had, like I said, you had Megan Rapinoe. You had most of these women that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So a lot of women that are on the national stage chose not to play. So a few of them have gone overseas, notably in the FA Women's National League, which is like Premier League for women.
Yeah.
So Sam Ewis was the first one to, I guess, hop the pond and go over to Manchester City, and Rose Lavelle followed slowly after.
Both prominent players on the recent championship team
Yes.
for the United States. Yeah.
Mhm, and Rose Lavelle is like up and coming. She's
Yeah.
going to be.
She was, I remember
Star.
every time she came on, they made a point that she's on the field and she's going to make an impact. And she did, I feel like.
She did in the semifinal game.
Yeah.
She scored that winning goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tobin Heath and Kristen Press, 2 of my absolute favorite
Dude, Kristen Press.
athletes ever.
And Tobin Heath is awesome to watch. She's aggressive and
Tobin
she's
Heath is like watching an artist paint when she plays soccer. It's incredible. It's
She's awesome.
incredible to watch her play. She is incredible.
She had that pretty sick goal that you wanted
last
to mention.
weekend. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, and Kristen Press is an underdog. Jill Ellis was the former coach of the U.S. Women's National Team, and she
Mhm.
didn't have the most faith in Kristen Press, and it was really sad because she's such a star.
Yeah.
So they are on Manchester United. So Manchester City played Manchester United this past weekend.
It's a good game. I watched the
Yeah,
highlights of it.
Tobin Heath. I know I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It was too early in the morning.
Yeah.
Plus, I was watching Formula One.
I just watched the highlights. I'm not gonna say I just got up in the morning and watched it.
Well, it's a lot harder to watch the FA League than it is to watch Formula One.
Yeah.
I will admit. So Tobin Heath was the only U.S. player to score in that game. It ended up as a tie. Super okay. But Tobin Heath hit a beautiful goal.
Yeah.
Is it tie okay though? Is it okay?
It's
mean-
really not, but this is not in. This is like their fall tournament. This does not matter.
Oh, it's not even a
No, Manchester
league.
City already won the league championship a couple weeks ago. And then Alex Morgan made her debut last.
She just recently signed, right? Like.
So
within-
she signed actually like a month ago, but she just had a baby. I
Oh,
think
that's
her
right.
baby is like 4 or
That's
5
right.
months old now,
Yeah.
so she is just getting back on the field. She's
That's still fucking quick.
really fast.
Alex Morgan.
She made her debut last Saturday.
Whoever the father is, lucky guy.
I'm more of a Julie Ertz type of guy.
Julie Ertz is cool too. Like Zach's not doing too bad.
Stanford graduate,
Mm-hmm.
plays NFL football, married to Julie Ertz.
I'd have been.
The life.
I mean, he is on the Philadelphia Eagles. So.
Mm-hmm.
Enough. Yeah, don't even get,
He's
don't,
not- he's not
don't even
even
get me
playing.
No, he's
started.
not even playing.
Don't even get me
There's that
started on
part.
the Eagles.
So yeah, you know, it was a 2-2 draw. Not really that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was supposed to be a really good game.
There was
It
another.
a really good
I
game.
saw another highlight from it was, I think it was an English chick from Manchester City that scored a nice goal in that game too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the volley.
hmm These talented women, they're all playing in the UK. I
Killing
mean,
it.
a lot of them are from the UK. But
Well,
they're
I was
all-
gonna say. So what do you think? So you mentioned the COVID protocols. So you think that's the biggest factor in people, Americans leaving? Because you would think, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I would think that Americans have, or the United States has the best women's soccer team currently.
argue-
You would think they would want to try and create the best league here in the United States. I know soccer is not as accepted, or not as followed as the other leagues in sports in the United States, but
So that's a big thing is the National Women's Soccer League hasn't always been the National Women's Soccer League. It's actually fairly new. It's only like 6 or 7 years old
Okay.
because it's been like 3 other things. But the leadership of these leagues
It's
is
not good.
like trash.
Yeah.
And the other problem is the U.S. Soccer Federation has like honestly zero to little respect for these women.
yeah,
So it's really hard, and like all of this national team talk also obviously affects the teams that they play on.
yeah,
And they've had very little respect for the teams that they play on. They've had very little respect for the actual players themselves. So I think it's been, and I mean, as I'm sure you guys both know, women's basketball players, women's soccer players, but more notably women's soccer players have been outspoken in standing up for themselves.
Oh,
Sure,
No
yeah.
question. No question.
I mean, whether it's against the men's team, whether it's against equal pay, whether it's at this point it's for themselves. So this
Yeah.
was kind of a really good way for them to not outwardly be like to their employers to be
Yeah.
like, hey,
screw you.
yeah,
We're going to play
this was a
somewhere else.
good way for them to further their talent and have an opportunity to play in a safe, healthy environment
Yeah,
and do it on their terms. It took Heath and Press like 3 months. There was speculation that they were going to sign with Manchester United, and it was just rumor after rumor after rumor, and then finally, it took 3 months for them to negotiate how they wanted to play,
interesting.
and like good for them because they've always wanted to play together. You know, there's
Oh, so they're kind of a duo of sorts.
So they live together in LA.
Oh,
They
that's
are
right.
like literally inseparable. There's a lot of speculation that they may be in a relationship. Tobin Heath is
Oh, really?
very Christian, so I don't think she would ever come out and say it.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, so it's really cool that they can play now on the same team on their own terms.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us to our next thing: is the National Women's Soccer League has 2 teams coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
More recently, in 2021, they will have Racing.
I like the name of this team, Racing
Yeah,
Louisville.
Racing
That's kind of
Louisville.
dope.
Racing, let's go.
So the problem is that Heath and Press, it was kind of this understood thing that they would go play for LA.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, LA is coming in 2022. They live in LA. That was kind of the intention. That was kind of the understanding, was that they were both going to be signed. So the problem is I don't think their teams liked that,
Yeah.
which
Oh, so
Press
that's
is on the
why.
Utah Royals
they were-
and Heath is on the
Gotcha.
Thorns, and they were like,
So their
kind
teams didn't protect them in the extension.
exactly, no.
Gotcha.
There was zero
just, like,
protection
screwed.
on either of them.
Interesting.
So Racing Louisville bought out the rights to both of them, but they have just signed in the UK,
England, yeah.
and it does not seem like there is any end to this contract that they have. So that's kind of a little bit of drama for
Yeah,
you in the
that is
National Women's
interesting.
Soccer League right now. Yeah.
So,
because you know they have the rights to them, but they don't have any right to say you have to come home.
You have to play,
They haven't
yeah.
signed contracts with either of them.
That's a kind of an interesting move by this new team
It
because
is.
you would, I mean, they have to just be banking on, hey, you know, we probably are not going to get any stars getting, you know, being an expansion team. Let's just take a flyer on these two. Since
Yeah, I
they're
guess. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out.
very, very interesting.
I was definitely rooting for them to be in LA, so it would be way easier for me to go see both of two of
Yeah,
my favorite players
That would
play.
be cool.
You know, I missed the opportunity to go and see them play Brazil in April because of COVID. It was such a bummer.
Where were they playing at?
They were playing at Avaya Stadium in San
Oh, no
Jose.
kidding.
Oh hell yeah!
Down in tight. We've been there.
We've been there. It's,
Have you been?
Yeah, I went there with my nephew to watch a Quakes game.
Their stadium's awesome.
It's
I mean, it's
really
small.
nice.
it's small.
It's an MLS sized stadium, but it's
It
dope.
is.
It's cool.
It's like
That
kind of
big ass fucking
out in the middle
park.
of nowhere next to the airport right there. It's
Yeah.
Supposedly the largest outdoor bar in a sports stadium in the United States.
yeah.
Cool.
It's 50 yards wide.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. Because when we went, it was on the other side. We were like, it doesn't look that big. And then
You walk
we
up
just
to
keep
it, you
walking,
keep walking,
walking,
and walking.
walking, and walking. Like, damn, this thing's actually pretty long.
I mean, think about walking just the length of the width of a football field. That's
Yeah.
how long it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking
It's-
huge.
Right? That's
Great.
cool.
Yeah.
Did not know
Anyways, stupid knowledge from me engaged. This is a really
This
cool,
must be like the most notable. This
Oh,
is very cool.
This-
very cool topic
this
we're going to
is
talk about. So
huge.
the Miami Marlins have a new general manager, and she is
Kim Ing,
Kim Ng,
And she is a female.
female.
Asian,
is
and
huge.
she's
Yeah, not Kim the guy,
Asian.
not Kim Jong Un.
well. Honestly, okay, I did not know who this woman was prior
No,
to this
I did.
information
Did you?
being released.
I maybe heard about her, but not like it wasn't a household name by any means.
Also notable, today's her birthday.
It is her birthday, so congratulations.
Big, birthdays, this, that. Huge news for you.
Yeah,
But I'll be honest, when I saw the update on my phone when ESPN was like, Kim Ing is signed,
yeah.
I thought it was a man. And I accidentally pressed on it. And so I was like, oh, that's so
that's bigger
cool.
news than I realized.
Yeah.
To me, this is just baseball. I feel like has been around for 1,000 years. How has this never happened yet?
But so is she. She has been in baseball forever. Like,
Yeah.
1990,
90 was
she
her first
graduated
job.
college and she was an intern for the White Sox.
Yeah.
1990, we weren't even alive yet. That's how long she
I
has
for
worked
sure
in
was.
baseball.
Within 1 year, she was assistant director of baseball operations for the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So she has definitely earned her stripes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, she was senior vice president for baseball operations. She was working under the manager who
Joe
was
Torre.
formerly, the
Who was the manager of the Yankees when she was there.
Yeah.
So every year that she was with the Yankees, so 98 to 2001, they went to the World Series every year. And
I
won 3 of
mean,
them.
was it because of her?
Maybe not, but
Never
either
know.
way, she at least got some great experiences.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's no question.
To me, when it comes to just the first female GM, it's a long time coming. In my
Yeah.
opinion. It's like,
Absolutely.
it breaks that stigma of only men can run men's sports, which I think is bullshit to begin
Yeah.
with. We only think it's not possible because we haven't seen anything else really like it.
Yeah.
So I'm just really glad
Well, I
for
mean,
her.
who's-
I'm really glad for women too. Honestly, I think it's awesome that this is happening.
She did say something really cool today on ESPN. She was I don't remember who was interviewing her, but she's like, I think a lot of she was talking specifically about young girls. So she's like, I think a lot of young girls don't think it's attainable because they don't see it. But now here I
Exactly.
am. Now they're gonna see it.
Sure,
I'm like, well,
that's definitely a
really
big
cool.
point.
Yeah.
And I want to say, she was interviewed on MLB Network, which I watched, and I want to say that the COO of the Marlins is also female, which had a big. She was like, I could see the
Yeah.
culture there was very accepting. And
To me, I don't care what gender you are, what you look like. If you could bring something to the table, I think is worthy of you being at this spot.
No question.
If you have it, then it's cool. Like, I don't care what you look like or anything.
Yeah.
If you can help, if you can help us win, it's fine.
Now if the rest of the world
Exactly.
had that opinion,
Yeah, I
that'd
know.
be really great.
Yeah.
You gotta break that stigma. You
Yeah,
just gotta break
absolutely.
it. 100%.
One thing I want to compare to this, I heard this when I was watching the Stanford football game this past weekend, because both the head coaches were black, and I think they said there was only a certain amount of head coaches in college football of the 130 Division I programs were black, and the guy Rod, I want to say Smith, the announcer who's black, he played wide receiver at Stanford,
Oh, cool.
said, this is cool just to see that this is one of the few times that we've seen black coaches on each side of the field.
Yeah.
But it would be even more cool if we get to the point where it doesn't even have to be mentioned, and it's just
Exactly.
and I could think that's a similar thing with women in all sports.
It just goes hand in hand. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even think of it anymore.
Yeah.
I
Well,
100% agree.
In the NFL, whose head coach is black? Is that the Steelers?
Mike Tomlin,
Dolphins.
Brian Flores.
But the Steelers, he has the most wins
Yeah.
as a black head coach.
Yeah, he's been there for.
I think he's only the second black head coach ever win a Super Bowl behind Tony Dungy.
Is that right? Yeah.
I
I
know
can
Tony
see that.
Dungy was the first.
Yeah.
Back
So
when-
then, he probably.
It's very cool that we're making these strides in sports.
We are.
I mean,
Oh,
the fact
man.
that she's Asian too is really cool.
Yeah, she's the first
is
Asian.
super
Yeah.
is underrepresented.
First Asian general manager
United
in
States.
Major League Baseball too.
And I just hope that she does well. I would hate for her to have this job and for some reason the Marlins stay shitty and then they're like, oh, it's because she's a woman. I just don't want. It's not what I want to hear.
You know what's funny? Is
You know-
she's actually walking into a better situation than you think. But go ahead and finish your point.
It's just you would know anybody would say like, oh yeah, they're doing shitty because she's a woman. Those people who are really closed-minded would probably say something like that. Which the
Yeah.
Marlins were actually good this year, but they haven't been good.
Yeah.
That's the first time they made the playoffs in
Gosh.
15 years, probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very,
well,
very
no, since they won the World Series, because they've only won the World Series up until this year when they made the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is pretty ironic.
which was an even to me that stat
Yeah.
up until
That's pretty cool. That's
It's
pretty cool to
unbelievable.
have that stat. I
It's
mean,
like every
even if
time-
you're not winning that much, it's still cool to have
Yeah.
that stat.
every time we make the playoffs, we fucking win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until this last year.
But I think she's walking into a better situation than people would realize. I mean, the Marlins aren't a glamorous franchise,
No.
but
But they couldn't.
they're
afford
they're
it,
up and coming and,
Yeah.
and young. They have
Seriously.
so many young players that are
They do. They
that are
really do.
good
Yeah.
and good and
I was reading about
up
that.
and coming players. You know.
So, congratulations to her. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Really happy for her. Hopefully she can make the Marlins back to where they want to be.
Yeah. All right.
Last call.
Last
huh?
call. We ready for
Last
this?
call. We ready? Already?
Already. I mean, we've been getting after it.
We've been,
Yeah.
we've been jaws now. I like it.
We only got 3
Been a while,
minutes
been a while.
before this hour ends. You have any final words?
No.
I know I have a few things written out that I want to talk about, but
I don't think I have any final words either.
I mean, speaking of, that just reminded me because half the MLB teams made the playoffs this year, but isn't that the case with the NFL too now?
they've expanded it to 14 out of 32, so
Yeah.
close to half. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And they even mentioned maybe expanding it to 8 because of COVID. But I don't even
Did
see
they-
how that really.
I think a better idea is to do that last week of COVID. Add another week on to the NFL and do
Just to
I
make
mean,
up
it's
games,
too
you mean?
late now. Yeah.
I thought so too. If it gets to the point where teams are just screwed because of COVID, why not just make it week 18 and push the playoffs back 1 week? I know that the Super Bowl has a certain date it's got
They've
to
already
happen on.
booked the weekend, okay?
Yeah, exactly. But fuck the Super Bowl, move it back 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even have a week of area
Super
to
Bowl.
play with
Yeah.
because if they
Yeah.
wanted to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, true.
So the MLB awards were fully. I think they were kind of in process during our last episode,
Yeah.
but now they're all out, and I just wanted to mention all the winners.
And I want to know, were you all right? With
I
that?
was pretty damn close.
Were you close?
So I didn't do the manager of the year, but I did the MVP, Cy Young, and rookie. And the ones I got right were Freddie Freeman, NL MVP,
Yep.
which I thought was going to be a close one.
Yeah.
I thought Mookie Betts was maybe going to win it.
Mm.
I also got
You
both
did
the
it? Oh, jeez.
I also got both the Cy Youngs right, Shane Bieber and Trevor Bauer, and then I got American League Rookie of the Year, Kyle Lewis.
All right.
So Devin Williams, National League Rookie of the Year was one I didn't get, which thinking back, I fucked that one up. I should have picked him. I kind of forgot about him. And then MVP of the American League was Jose Abreu, which I'm not upset that he won. He had a great year too.
So, were you surprised dude from Tampa didn't win Rookie of the Year? Wasn't it Rosarena rookie?
Technically, yes, but he only played a fraction of the season.
So he played right. He played well when he had.
Because he missed a lot of the year because of the virus.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
was,
Okay.
yeah.
So he was a late bloomer.
Because obviously he tore it up.
He tore it up in the World Series, or the playoffs, rather.
Terrible time to, be a rookie,
Yeah.
or terrible time to get COVID
Yeah.
when you're a rookie.
Yeah. He made his debut even last year, but he was still eligible as a rookie.
Your boy Donnie Baseball won
Yeah.
Manager of the Year for the National League.
No, so Donnie Barrel's Silver Slugger.
Oh,
Oh no,
Don
Don
Mattingly.
Baseball. You mean no for
Don,
manager?
Don Mattingly.
Yeah, Don Mattingly. Yes, sorry. Yes, Don Mattingly won Manager of the Year. Speaking of the Marlins, see, they're in good hands.
Yeah, see, they're fine.
Got Manager of the Year, and then our boy Kevin Cash
they-
won.
Kevin Cash should have lost this shit after he took out Blake Snell.
Oh my god, that was the worst decision.
Yeah. Hold on, we gotta hit a little timeout.
Oh, you only get an hour.
You only get an hour, so we're gonna just not
Roll back into it.
And
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Kevin Cash, he sucks. Why did he do that?
What was
he's
he?
a robot.
Cost them
I
to
swear
get-
he's a
okay,
robot.
Fuck analytics aside, he was doing well. It's like just have faith in your pitcher that just because the analytics say that he might drop off, who cares? He was on, dude, and he just had to watch that game just
I know, I feel bad for
unravel.
Blake.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir right now. We had this
Yeah.
conversation a couple weeks. I mean, what are you thinking?
It
That
shouldn't
was-
even be Kevin Cash. It should say a robot right here.
Yeah.
It was just the most
It should be
devastating
robot
decision
trash.
in baseball. It was so sad.
This
I
needs
mean,
to be
fuck the
bold, too.
Dodgers, but come on. They at least had another game in them. You know, if the Dodgers won the next game, whatever,
Yeah.
then they got it fairly. But
Yeah.
that game did not. They
The
didn't
Dodgers
deserve to
could
win that
not
game.
touch him.
No.
No.
2 hits, and he struck out like 10 guys in 5 1/3.
Seriously, and then he was like, "Nope, nope, you can win it." Nope.
That was frustrating.
It was just
We're all there with you.
bad.
Yeah, so but Kevin Cash, the robot, did. He did win
Win.
League Manager.
Not
Manager of the year,
deserved.
Not
yes.
deserved. I mean, sure, maybe the Rays outplayed their expectations, so that's probably why you got it.
Absolutely.
That's usually how it goes with Manager of the Year. But
Yeah.
so, to my other point about Donnie Barrels,
Okay. Yeah.
Giants second baseman Donovan Solano won the National League Silver Slugger for second baseman.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
He's
And
a talented guy.
he could hit a little bit. And then other notes out of the Bay Area, Liam Hendricks, reliever of the year.
We're gonna talk about the A's.
Liam Hendricks was
I mean,
dominant.
isn't that cool that you're the reliever of the year?
Yeah, I mean, relievers are important players.
It's a
these
trophy.
days.
It's a trophy.
Yes.
And actually, this guy, Devin Williams, that I mentioned earlier, was reliever of the year in the National League. So,
Dang.
yeah,
Double
double
trophy.
whammy.
Double trouble.
I mean, his name is Devin, so.
Hey,
Hey.
it's got good roots. One other note I want to make about baseball. Theo Epstein, president of baseball operations for the Cubs, stepping down. Yeah.
Surprising?
Why?
He, I guess he was just done. I actually didn't read much about it. I just saw the headline.
It's a little surprising to me, man.
Yeah, the Cubs are in a weird state right now. I mean, they have guys that, like Chris Bryant, who's been reluctant to sign an extension. Javi Baez, who just had the worst year of his career in a while, who's still kind of a star player, so and getting near the end of his arbitration years. So they're in a weird spot. It could be interesting for the Cubs going forward. Maybe he was just like, you know what, I don't really want to deal with this.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He probably realizes that.
Yeah, he led the Red Sox to the World Series in 2013, Cubs in 2016.
That's all he needs.
He's got a, yeah, exactly. He has all he needs as far as accomplishments. So good for Theo. I know Cubs fans will love this guy forever
Oh,
for what he brought to
Kidding me.
Chicago.
you kidding me?
Yep.
Even Red Sox fans. The Red Sox fans,
Sure.
they didn't win for a while.
Well, he wasn't a part of the first regime though.
But you know what I mean.
But yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
If you win in Boston, they cherish you. You know what I mean?
You know, I thought I had a bold prediction brewing over the week, but
No, you just didn't take a shot. Fuck
I
it.
don't know. I'm gonna maybe
Don't force it, man. Don't force it. You don't have
just
to.
gotta smell the tequila and maybe it'll brew it up.
Ugh.
You have any?
No, I was honestly even trying to think of one in my sports that I brought up, but
Yeah.
I've got none.
I don't think. I usually don't have any. I don't have nothing.
What was my one last year? It was about the Giants, right? Going to the playoffs.
The one last week?
Mm-hmm.
You had Christian McCaffrey. Was that last week?
Oh yeah. Maybe the Giants was the week before.
Yeah.
You don't have a list? You don't have a list?
Gage has a hell of a list. I think at some point we need to
I do have a
just
list.
rattle them all off. Oh, you know what? I do.
You have one?
I don't really love it, but I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the show.
What a guy.
I think the Minnesota Vikings are gonna make the playoffs.
That's not that crazy, but I'll give it to you.
No,
They're
yeah.
4 and 5,
That's not
and
that bold.
they're
No, not
They're-
really.
I don't think it is.
I mean, considering the amount of teams that are making the playoffs this year?
Well, yes, I'll give you that, but there are 2 full games out of the playoffs right now with only 7 to go.
I'll
And
give
think
it
about
to
all the
you.
good teams that are better. I'm just going to take a shot.
Who are
for
they
Hell.
playing? Who are they up
They-
against?
So they do still have to play the Saints and the Buccaneers down the stretch.
But the
Which can
Cowboys,
make
they play the Cowboys this week. So
well, that's a given.
Buccaneers are questionable.
They do have some winnable games, but they still have to play the Saints and the Buccaneers, which are good teams. Probably the 2 best in the NFC.
All right, take a shot. No one's gonna stop you.
I'm definitely.
I'm not going to make anyone pay big bucks for this one.
I'm sure you're trying to make me pay big time, right? Because you already do. Motherfucker. That Heat one was fucking nice. The raw egg tequila shot.
Yeah, that was gross.
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I thought you said it wasn't too bad.
It actually wasn't. it just tastes like a hefty tequila shot. I've been through this.
Can we mention the fact that Matt, half-assed his chip challenge today?
Your boy, the man you claim.
I feel like I'm
Half-assed.
responsible for this.
The man who's been on this show 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get him on and do it again.
I think so.
I mean, the two guys out in the living room right now, they were like, "You guys should do it again." It's like, why don't they do it? You know,
I'm not doing
get
it. I'm not
everybody
doing it.
else.
I'm
to
not,
do
I'm not
it.
doing
Yeah.
it again. There's no way.
Exactly.
I don't have any reason to. I mean,
No.
if everyone was doing it, maybe I'd do it just for the camaraderie.
No.
But great word, right?
I'm a big camaraderie guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hard.
But I
would
don't
love
really-
to watch.
I don't really have much of a reason to do it.
No.
No.
I'm
I mean, Matthew's got like 4 more. So.
Because he and Ryan split the one, right?
Yeah.
you can't split. No, you can't split.
Yeah. No
We gotta go
I
for
mean,
it.
that's also you gotta call Ryan Crandall out on it too. He was only trying to eat a piece of it.
He's
I wonder if
a little
I wonder if we scared Finch. He saw how we were after.
Well, he even said he's not a huge spicy guy, right?
No,
Yeah.
but the Italian guy, he took it. He took it like a champ.
Like a champ.
The half a chip.
The habit chip. Well, I'll give him some shit next time I see him in person. Whether it's
which
tonight
will be in
or
about
another night.
which will be half an hour from now probably.
Who knows?
What time is it?
It is 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right.
8 o'clock.
Any final words? I know we already did the last call, but
I would like to say thank you to Devin for
Yeah.
being here.
This
Appreciate
was a good
it very
episode.
It was
much.
fun.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I can come back every 6 months and give you an update. on
there we
my
go.
Yeah.
Formula One.
Yeah.
We will have that all girls episode soon.
Yes. Female perspective
Yeah,
is always
yeah,
good.
You gotta
to,
find the right days. You know, it's gonna take the perfect time. But,
Yeah.
You know,
I
We
mean,
can make it happen.
yeah. Hopefully it can happen.
I feel like I do have a last word for Formula One. There are a couple of very notable players who don't have seats yet. There
Oh
are a
yeah,
couple of seats
Sergio,
unfilled.
right? Sergio Perez.
Yeah, Sergio Perez, he finished 2nd place and he still doesn't have a seat.
And
That-
he's like top 5 in the standings right now, right?
He's number 4, I believe.
4th in the standings, and he
Which,
doesn't have a seat.
and he was out 2 races because of COVID. And
Even
he's still
and still
fourth.
4th. That's crazy.
Which is, and the guy who took his place, Nico Hulkenberg, he is very talented. He did not have a seat this year, doesn't have a seat next
Yeah.
year. There's 2 seats open at Haas. They scrapped.
Haas is such a mess right now.
They scrapped both
The
their
American
drivers.
team. A mess.
Yeah,
Who
really
would have thought?
Racing Point is they filled both their seats, but they're not. They're Aston Martin.
Yeah,
Red Bull still has an open seat. They haven't re-signed Alex Albon. They have not
it's
been
true.
as pleased as they would have liked to been. with
Yeah,
him.
they're very. They have a high standard for sure. Because
They
I
do.
mean, they didn't give Daniel Ricciardo the contract he wanted, and he left. Which
They kind of did though, and it's really disappointing that Daniel Ricciardo left. I think that was a really bad choice. And I mean, now he's
sure,
gonna
I
drive-
agree. I agree.
Now he's going to drive for McLaren. He signed with
And
McLaren.
McLaren is slow.
So yeah, it's questionable. I mean, Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, they do fairly well. They have some noticeable hiccups. They're
Sure.
a mid-level.
I mean, Lando was putting up some good laps in the last race.
Yeah, he was. Carlos Sainz finished what, 4th, 5th?
Yeah.
So still pretty good. Carlos Sainz is going to go drive for Ferrari next year,
That'll be a fun turn.
which is cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting year next year. I mean, like I said, I think Lewis Hamilton's going to sign with Mercedes. I
Yeah.
think he's just kind of ironing out the more personal side of his contract. But I think racing-wise, I think he can't be done.
He ain't
He
leaving.
can't tie and be done.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way.
And the only thing he could prove is if he went to a smaller team and won a championship, but that's not gonna happen.
Why would you mess?
Yeah, why would you mess with
That would be like Daniel Ricciardo. Why would you mess with that? So-
Yeah, he just wanted to be the man. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
And
But maybe to a point about Sergio Perez being 4th in the standings, that's a huge deal because if you consider that, you have Mercedes who's dominating the sport right now with the top 2 drivers in Hamilton and Bottas, and then Verstappen with Red Bull. Red Bull's clearly the second best team,
Yeah.
and then he's basically the best of the rest.
Mhm.
So that's actually
And he
a
does
bigger
not
deal.
have a contract next
Yeah,
year.
that's
That
crazy.
is just, it's mind blowing to me. It's really sad because he's a really good, he's
Yeah.
a genuine
And he's the only
Awesome
Mexican
dude.
driver in the field, right?
only one.
Yeah.
Right now.
Which I wouldn't even think of Mexico breeding race car drivers in general.
No, not
But-
the place you'd think that would be.
Yeah.
But hey,
It's cool for him though.
fourth in the world.
Yeah.
So.
He needs a seat. Maybe Red Bull will come knocking.
I hope so.
I mean,
really-
Albon's okay.
He's just not great. He just doesn't have that. I mean, the way that Red Bull treated Pierre Gasly, they honestly should have treated Alex Albon the same way. I think because of COVID and because they didn't have that freedom necessarily to just wipe somebody and bring in somebody new. Because
Yeah.
I don't know who the relief driver is, but I imagine it's not great. So
Well, that's the kind of weird luxury that Red Bull has because they have that second tier team.
they have an entire junior program.
Yeah, and plus that,
Yeah.
but because they can easily just swap.
Mm-hmm.
They swapped Gasly to the AlphaTauri team,
Yeah, AlphaTauri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
and they didn't have to necessarily release him. You know, they could just say, "Hey, you're going to drive this car now."
Mm-hmm. Max Verstappen has asserted that he wants Nico Hulkenberg on his team.
Really,
Yeah, because
Nico's a good driver.
he is not as good as Max Verstappen, and
For
I think
sure.
that's what Max
And-
wants. 'cause
Yeah,
Max is
I can
like,
see that.
he wants to be the star.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch the show.
Yeah, I need to watch the show.
No, there's a lot of good.
No,
There's
I'm
cool
hoping
drama
that,
involved, but it's a
pretty
very
cool.
good informative show.
And it's a very cool sport, which
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't even realize that it's
No.
a very cool sport. It's really interesting. I would have never watched Formula One if
Yeah.
I hadn't watched that show.
The only gripe I have about Formula One is I wish the racing was more consistently close as far as the top of the grid.
Yeah, it's been a really tough
I-
year
I
in
know.
terms of predictability because it's
Yeah.
literally it's always
For sure.
Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes,
sure,
Red Bull.
yeah.
But yeah, you have weekends like last weekend, really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton did win, but then you had Ferrari and Racing Point
Yeah.
on the podium.
Yeah, it's cool that there's also the small teams that are getting better, but I just wish that there was,
A little more.
3 teams that were competing rather than 1 or 2.
Exactly.
At least 3.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
They need more money.
It's very top heavy, is what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
extremely
Gosh,
top
if I
heavy.
have to listen to the British and German national anthem for another fucking Sunday, I'm gonna scream. It's like never in my life would I have known what the German national anthem sounds like, but now I do, and I will never forget it.
That's hilarious. All right, well that was a good
Great.
episode.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Devin.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Giving
Thanks
some
for having
good
me.
different insight.
We'll see you, 6 months from now, you said?
Yeah, exactly.
6 months?
Exactly.
You were much more tolerable than Matt. See ya.